Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Academia School Simulator. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back. Unfortunately, I do have some bad news. There's been an update to the game, and it's corrupted my save file, so we can't continue with the old Conflict County High School. It's just the way it is. It's unfortunate, but we move on, because I kind of have an idea. And my idea is that we try Sandbox Mode for a couple of videos, because I could start again and I could work through all the grants and all that stuff, but we were very close to the point where we wouldn't necessarily need to worry about the grants, and we would just sort of hit the gameplay loop of the game where the game snowballs. So I figure we were getting kind of close to being able to treat it as Sandbox Mode anyway. So we're going to jump into Sandbox Mode. It is going to be Conflict Lake High School, I guess. The motto is A. Lamau. And our primary color is going to be orange with, I don't know, blue. Orange and blue. And then the icons. Now the icons are going to be very important. I have been playing a considerable amount of Sea of Thieves and Windward lately, so I figure that's appropriate. Let's go ahead and get started with some Sandbox Mode in Academia, which means we don't need to worry about money, which makes me so happy because I can plan until my heart's content. So let's make something that's actually going to look really good. Let's start, right down here. And what we're going to do is we're actually just going to build, because we just don't need to worry about the money. I'm so excited to do this. So let's start with some fences. I think what we'll do is we're gonna put a fence there. That's apparently a fence. So a fence there, and then along like this, and along like this, and we're gonna have them come up a little bit, and then sort of go across in either direction like that, just so we sort of get an idea of the main entrance to the school. So what I want to do is I want to come away from that. I want to come back this way a little bit, and I want to start going in with some brick walls. And we're going to say the main entrance to the school itself is going to be right here. Similar layout to this. And it's going to come in to about there. In fact, maybe a little bit further. And we're basically going to have a set of, 2 doors here and 2 doors here. So let's go ahead and grab the double doors, which will sit just like that. And then if we go back to our walls, we can use what'll look really good against the brick. Probably the blue, actually. So let's go ahead and get some blue here. Let's bring it across a little bit. We'll go 5. And we'll go 5. And then I want to come up a little bit. So this is going to be sort of like the main sort of communal space as you come into the school, which maybe makes sense and maybe doesn't, but whatever. It totally makes sense. Let's go, for that reason, about 10 that way and 10 that way. And then we could totally have a corridor going that way. So 10 and 10. I think the corridors can be a little bit thinner this time. I think we'll go for 3 tiles wide rather than the 5 that we were doing last time. And then if we come across, we can go 5 and 5. And we can totally get a couple more doors there that lead into something else. Maybe a common area or something. But what I like the idea of doing is having a faculty room sort of just over here. So if we maybe go, let's see here. We've come in 2 already. So if we go across like that, say 10 and up, that can be a faculty room. And then over here could be split so that we can have our workers and our janitors there. So if we go to doors, we do a staff door, and a staff door. And I think that'll be fine. And I think that'll look really good. Let's go ahead and just let the workers slowly start building here. So that'll be totally fine. We'll get that going in. We could totally put down some floors as well. So let's start laying those out. We'll go for some wooden floors, I think. In fact, this main entrance area, we'll go for teal carpet. I think it'll look really nice. And I think we could go for gravel leading up to the doors. No, maybe paved. So we'll pave straight up to the doors. Just something like that. And I kind of want to pave the whole way. Oh, I did not want to do that. Can I didn't want to cancel the walls either. I basically want to pave the whole way around the main bulk of the building. That's kind of what I'm going for here. So something kind of like that will probably look fairly decent. So we'll pave like this, pave over to there. We'll get the same little corners going, just like this, and all the way over to there. So basically, we are going to have pathways that lead the whole way around the structure of the building. And I think it's going to look really nice. So we'll get our blue in there. And as we come in, I think we can go for wood. Since this is sort of a communal area, sort of a corridor. So we'll just go for wood the whole way through there. And all the way up to there as well. Then the faculty room can have a red carpet. And we can have a brown carpet in the workers' quarters with a yellow carpet in the janitor's quarters. And I like this. I'm liking this. So we need to figure out where the classrooms are going to go, because I haven't actually figured that part out yet. But we're totally gonna, don't worry. I think what I'd like to do is actually go into walls again and say that we're actually going to bring a corridor down this way. So it's going to come across like this. We'll go another 10 that way. Actually, let's see here. From that point, we want to go... No, from here, we want to go 10. And that'll, I think, let's see here. So that is 10. We want to go up to there. So that could totally be a classroom. That could be classroom number 1. And I think that'll work. So let's see here. If we go another 10 and then up to that point, that could be classroom number 2. And then we could totally go for... We could basically make another set of squares, kind of similar to what we did last time. Except this time, each set of 4 is one type of classroom. So let's do this kind of thing to start with, since we're going to just go with some basic construction at the moment. I say basic, I mean, you know, let's get the classrooms in and do something the workers can actually maintain. Also, speaking of workers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go for 15 of them total to get things done a little bit quicker. And let's also maybe go ahead and get these doors in for the classrooms as well. So we want to go for, I'm thinking a door there, 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 and there. And then over here, we do actually have the room to do exactly the same thing. So freshman, sophomore, juniors, seniors, maybe we go for 4 classrooms each. That might not be a terrible idea. I think we go for that. Let's get over here and start doing these walls. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, down like this, and across like that. So we want to go 10 here, and then we want to go 10 here, 10 there, and like that. So that's one of our classrooms. We want to go another 10 across to there and done. We want to go 10 and down like that. So there we go. We have our 2 sets of classrooms. Obviously, I've got to do the corridors around them. Let me just keep the game running while I do this, because these guys are going to have so much building to do. And I also want to change the walls. I do want to mention that. I'm absolutely not just going to go with blue walls the whole way through this. But just for the sake of making things kind of easy at the moment, that's, you know, what I'm going to be building in. So we're just going to have to deal with that. Let me just make sure those are canceled there. And let's go back into floors real quick and get these wooden floors going. So just the whole way around like this. And the whole way through that corridor. And that corridor. And then I guess we need to figure out what the classrooms are going to have for their floor. We could go for wood, but I'm thinking the classrooms are going to be violet. Because I can, really. And I think violet's a nice color. So we'll go for that kind of thing. We'll get the violet floors in. And I think we'll do the same over here as well. To just throw all of the violet floors in. I'm pretty sure I can make a really easy profit in Sandbox Mode. I mean, there's technically not any... There's no limitations, you know? I can kind of build whatever I want to build. So, a profit's probably not a challenge, remotely. But we'll not worry too much about that. Let's see here. So we don't have a common area currently. We also don't have a canteen. So what if we were to go back to build and we say that we want to build our canteen in this sort of space here. And then what we could do is divide up this space over here. You know, what distance are we looking at there? That's 17. So 8, the 9th tile. So that one there is the middle of those two. So that'll be fine. Maybe giant toilets or something. I don't know. Let's say that maybe common room, computer room, library. With a big corridor sort of going through them like that. And then, I guess technically speaking, we probably want another corridor coming along here. So that the students can get around there really easily. And I guess maybe a... We do need toilets as well, actually. How much room? We have a lot of room up the top, don't we? Like, at least we have a decent bit of room up there. So I think maybe... I mean, some toilets are really not a bad idea. So maybe we can go... Let's do these out of brick. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll go 6 that way. And 6 that way. And then like this. Then over here we'll do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 and in. 6 and in. And then we want to go to doors. Door. And then like this. So those are going to be 2 sets of toilets. Down towards the front of the building. Made out of brick. Because they'll look kind of interesting. They'll match the entranceway. And then up this way we need toilets as well. So if we go into the walls again. We can go for a corridor here. Which is going to be 10 that way and 10 that way. And then I think we'll get more toilets in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess a couple of small little toilets like this isn't a terrible idea. And we'll go for a door, you know, there and there. So I think that'll work for those. And I think what we could maybe do is we could maybe look at having a canteen on one side here. Because I want to get a little bit asymmetrical. I don't think that's going to be a terrible idea. So I think what we'll do is we'll go in here to walls again. We'll get the blue wall. And this here is going to be our kitchen. Pretty big, I know, but I think it'll look good. And then this here is going to be our canteen. So let's go 15 and across and down to there. And what we can do is go to doors and do a couple of double doors on this to make sure that we actually have the room. And then a staff door there and there as well. Then over here, I'm not really sure what this is going to end up being, but let's just, you know, get the walls built up to there for the time being. Because we have a lot of space to work with. we have a lot of space to work with. So let's go ahead and get the floors in for the rest of it. Let's also speed up the simulation because I'm running it very slowly right now. Actually, hold on. What was this going to be? Common room? So doors. Let's go to double and say there and there. With the door there and there. So common room is going to need carpet. Let's just go with gray because it'll get dirty so quickly. And then we'll go for teal for the computer room. And then I think brown for the library. So we'll get that done. Wow, construction really is taking a while. I mean, I did have it paused, but... I mean, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you guys. So we've now got 25 workers. Let's just bring that up again. You know, let's get that up to 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We have 30 workers going ahead into the construction project there. Let's get a few more doors on here as well. So double door there and there. And there and there. And we also need to get the wooden floors in. Let's actually do all of the floors before I continue getting distracted. Let me also just cancel that. And also demolish that. If you wouldn't mind. You know, when you get a chance, go ahead and put the floors in there for me. And the whole way up here as well. And then bathroom tiles for the bathrooms, of course. So we'll get those in. We could go for marble floor, perhaps, for the... Is it an outdoor thing? No. So go for a marble floor for the fancy canteen that we apparently have. It's probably a little bit too much, but it's a bit different to the tiles. And I've never used it before. And then kitchen tiles for the kitchen. And what else do we need? I've missed these, didn't I? So these need to be bathroom tiles as well. And these are also going to be bathroom tiles. So there you go, gents, when you get a moment. And then we can go ahead and also actually start paving the front again. You know, all the way up to the edges. Which I think will look pretty good. I think it'll look pretty good, and I do have a reason for it. I have sort of an idea for what I want to do here. I actually want to have like garbage and deliveries like around the back somewhere. So we'll see how that goes. But for the meantime, oh, there's already garbage in here. Interesting. For the meantime, let's start laying out some rooms. So the janitor's room is there. The workers' quarters is there. The faculty room is going to go in... Where's faculty? Faculty is there. Faculty room is there. Not very big, but it'll do the job. We have a giant common area. We have a computer lab, which is a decent size. We have a library. We have a few classrooms, which I guess we should start labeling. So this is going to be freshmen over here. This is also going to be freshmen. I don't like that the zoning is actually color-coded because it sort of defeats the purpose of the carpets, but whatever. We got some sophomores over here as well. Just like so. And then up this way, we want the cafeteria. We want the kitchen. And then I believe it's toilets are the only things that are left. We don't actually have a... We don't have a principal's office at the moment. We probably want to fix that. We'll do that shortly. So female, male, then male, and male, and then female and female. So we still need to get the principal's office, which, if anything, should be down towards the front of the school. It's very tempting to just sort of put it in this central space here. But that could be a little bit silly looking. But it would break up this otherwise pointless space that we have here. Because I don't think there's much else I can put in there. I can put some plants in. That's totally a thing. We also have lockers, which need to go in as well. Let's see here. Anything else we can put in? Doesn't really look like it. I mean, let's see. Trash, sorry, not trash cans. Some plants, some trash cans. I think we maybe just put the... I think we just put the office in the middle. So let's go... I mean, what size can we go for here is the question. Something like... that, perhaps? No, that's not even central. Maybe that? No, I don't think that's where it's going to go at all. I think the principal's office is going to have to go off to the side somewhere. So that will add a little bit of asymmetry, I suppose. Let's actually do it here. So if we go to build and we go to wall, we go across there like this. We can divide up so the principal's office is going to be there. And then this room is going to be something else. So we want a door on the principal's office and then a door on this. Then the principal's office is going to have red carpeting. And in here is going to have brown for the time being because we don't know what it is. And that'll be fine. That'll totally work. So that right there is going to be an office. Okay. I'm kind of liking this, though. I kind of like the look that we have going. Let's see if we can maybe start getting some objects in, such as, you know, lockers and all that stuff. Because what we could sort of do is start lining walls with them. Because that is sort of a thing that can be done. You know, some schools have locker areas in along certain walls. Maybe we, you know, maybe we line some of the walls down here. We get some lockers in there. We'll go for a bunch up to about that spot. And maybe not there. And then we'll go for a bunch along here as well. I think that'll work. And then we can maybe do the same up here as well. And we leave, I think it's, let's see here, 1, 2, it's 5. So from here it's 1, that's fine. So 1, 2, and then we start again. I don't know if we need that many lockers, but we'll go for it. How many do we place before we leave the gap? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. We place 8 of them. Okay. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right. My workers can have some fun placing all of those. I believe up to there, and then all the way into the corner over there. So we'll see how that turns out. In the meantime, we could probably do with another potted plant there and there, with a couple of trash cans there, there, and there. Okay. I'd say the workers are doing a pretty good job. Construction's coming along, at least. But let's go ahead and start laying out, I think... We'll lay out one classroom, and then I'll put a cut in the video so you don't have to watch me lay out all of them. And then we'll come back, we'll finish the decoration of everywhere else, and see what exactly this is going to look like when it's constructed. Because I'm actually very excited to see what a highly functioning school in this game is going to look like. I realize I might have said the words, I'm going to show you me furnishing these, or one of these. I didn't, but this is what they're going to look like. Each classroom can hold 30 students. So I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out. I'm also thinking it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and start working on the fences outside again. So let me just do, let's see here. If we were to go straight across there, that could be kind of interesting. We also probably need to move the deliveries area and all that stuff first. So let's do our designing on this side. Let's see here. So if we were to go like this, something like that, and then straight across there, okay, that's gonna, no, that didn't really mess with me too much. That's fine. That's gonna go to there and do that kind of thing. And then what I think we do is we come over to I think about here, honestly. Or maybe just to that. Maybe to that point and down like this. That doesn't seem very nice, though. Maybe something like that instead. I think that'll look better. I do think that'll look better. Let me also just maybe go ahead and hire... I was going to say I'll hire some janitors, but they won't technically have anywhere to go. So let's start furnishing these 3 rooms in the center here and see what we can do. So let's go for common area, which is tables and chairs. Also, possibly several trash cans, because I know what students can be like. Let's see here. So, how many of these can I get across there? So it's going to be something like that. That's fine. And then it's 1 away from the wall every time, with a gap there, and then 2 more. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I did that one wrong. That's fine. So something like that should be fine. Then that kind of gap. And again. And hopefully I can get 1 more set in there. It actually looks like I totally can. So that should be a decently sized common area for a whole bunch of students to sit and chill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 20, 30, 40. Hold on. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100. 100? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 100 students. That's not bad. I mean, there's more students in each year, technically. I believe it's 120 students per year. So there's a lot of students, potentially, so we may need another common area. But at the same time, 100 students in here, plus the room that we have across the hall in the library and the computer room, that's not a bad thing. That is definitely not a bad bit of space over there. So I'm not too worried about that. Also, why are some of my workers just sort of standing around doing nothing? You guys most certainly have not done everything there is to do. Let's see here. Are you guys starting to move again? Some of you are considering it. What are you doing? You're resting. Oh. Is it... I mean, you have a workers' quarters. Why are you resting, though? Why aren't you building? And now you're going home. Okay. I mean, to each their own, I suppose. Let's see what we can do with the library, then. So the library is going to be bookshelves, tables, and chairs. Right. So I think... I mean, the tables need to go that way, possibly. Let's see here. If I was to do the tables this way... So something a little bit different this time. But do the tables this way. I could... Let's see here. Put you there. I could totally do the bookshelves. Interesting that the bookshelves can't face up. That's odd. But I guess... Technically speaking, we could do the bookshelves, the bookcases like this. And then a couple... Oh, they can't face up, though. I guess there. And there. That should be fine. That'll look kind of interesting. Let me pause while I just place these, because I think my builders are starting to bug out because of how much stuff I'm actually placing. That might not be the case, but it kind of feels like it. So hopefully having the game paused while I just place obscene amounts of chairs will stop the builders from going a little bit weird. Apparently I wasn't paused when I was doing that. You guys are actually building, right? It does, yeah, it does seem like you are building again. Okay, let me pause just for a second while we do the computer lab. What else needs done? Oh, the cafeteria, man. I've still got a lot to do. I also missed 2 of the toilets up here. And also the office. And then there's the lockers. Yeah, there's still a lot to do. Okay, so at this point, I think everything is done in terms of layout. I'm not happy with how the canteen looks because of the tables, but it's actually a smaller room than I thought it was, which makes it a little tricky. So what I'm going to go ahead and do at this point is actually just delete the delivery zone. I'm going to pause while I do this. Delete garbage. Remove that. And I also want to dismantle you. So dismantle that, and then go into here. Go to build, sorry, and demolish this as well. Because we need to figure out where all that stuff's going to go. We need to figure out, you know, where our delivery's going, where does garbage go, all that kind of stuff. So, I think, since we're actually really central here, we kind of have a choice to make, and I'm thinking it's going to go back here behind the cafeteria and the kitchen, since that's going to be a huge, huge source of garbage, realistically speaking. So if we go to build, outdoors, and gravel, we can say, you know, do an 8 by 12 space there for garbage. And then maybe deliveries can go in that little 8 by 6 spot there. And around that, we can do some fences. So a fence going up to there seems like a good idea. We also get rid of that sink there. We can go get a staff door. Just in that spot. We can do a staff fence in that spot and that spot. And hopefully under those I can do gravel, right? Yeah, I totally can. And then paved here as well. Then under there will be the kitchen tile. So that's where those are going to go. And what we can do is we can say that garbage immediately goes there. And that deliveries immediately go there. And that should be totally fine. So if we go to objects, we can get the trash dumpsters and just line them up, you know, around here. Sort of like this, just the whole way along. And they fit really nicely for, I mean, dumpsters. So we'll do that. That'll do for the garbage area. We can bring the paths around eventually. That is a bit out of the way for all that stuff, but, you know, we'll not stress too much about it. Let's see here. So what are you guys actually working on? It looks like the lockers are finally going in. It does look like some of the workers are ever so slightly giving up. And, yeah, deciding to rest instead. Which, I mean, fair enough. They probably have a lot to do. Let's see if we can maybe hire a few more. So let's just go up to 50 workers total, unless I can't go above that many. No, we can go up to 50. I keep clicking on something else apparently, but there we go. Up to 50 workers. And that's hopefully gonna help things along a little bit. I don't think we have any room that is actually fully completed just yet. Actually, no, we do. We have a classroom here. We have a couple of classrooms which are actually, technically speaking, functional. Which is very exciting. I'm very, very excited about that. And then I believe, yeah, they're going to start working on the other classrooms as well. So at this point, we just have to wait for construction to be completed. Or at least the janitor's room to be completed, so I can get some janitors to start cleaning the place because it's filthy. So at this point, construction is actually done. And I'm quite happy with how the thing is looking. Obviously, it's not the neatest in the world, but it kind of does the job. My janitors, unfortunately, are completely overwhelmed. They're not actually assigned any paths yet, though. So I'm just trying to figure out what we can really do here. We could go to janitor routing and say, you know, start there, go to there, go up to there, and go to there, and then turn back. So we'll get a janitor on that. We'll get one over here as well. And see how that goes. We'll get one that goes from there to there. To that point. and that point, and then back. And we'll get one that does very similar, except he can't go there, unfortunately. So he's going to have to... Can I change that up a little bit? Can I maybe get rid of this route? Let's see here. So we'll start here. We'll go to there. We'll go there. And like that. Then another one that goes this way. And like that. So there's a couple of janitors going to be going around that middle area. We could probably move these nodes down a little bit. Sort of into, say, those spaces a bit. Maybe even further down a little bit, over like that. Just to make sure that area gets cleaned. We do need janitors going into the classrooms as well. That is absolutely a thing that needs to be done. Looks like some of them still are. Let's see about maybe having a janitor that goes up and down here. So it goes up to there. Can go into there. Maybe down into the kitchen just to make sure it stays nice and clean. Then to, say, that point and back. So that'll be fine. And I'm trying to think what way we do a janitor that goes classroom to classroom, because technically speaking, the janitors doing these patrols around the side could do that. But I don't know if I want that to be the case. Let's maybe have one that goes there, there, to there, and then back. And then the same sort of over here. The same kind of logic there. So that's into all of the classrooms. We don't have anyone that currently goes into the faculty room, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we'll see how that plays out. And at this point, let me just go ahead and hire a few more janitors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. And we'll see if we can get the place cleaned up a little bit. But what I want to do is I want to start bringing in some students. So 120 freshmen and 120 sophomore students. How much money would that be? $18,000 per day with $48,000 up front. Sure. Let's do it. That did save, right? Yeah, that did totally save. We can technically start the school year. I don't know how good of an idea that is because the school is absolutely filthy. So maybe what we'll do before we do that is we'll just go around and get a bunch more trash cans in here just to make sure that there is always one handy in case someone happens to need one. I realize as well, I haven't actually gone ahead and changed the interior walls yet, which is absolutely something I was intending on doing, and I might still very well do. I might still go around and change those interior walls because I'm just feeling like we kind of need to, you know? Definitely getting that vibe, but let's open the school and see what happens. This is just turned into an experiment to see what happens with a school that's, you know, fully kind of designed before you open it. So start the school year. We should be bringing in 240 students right away. We absolutely are. We have a cash flow. And we have our staff coming in. Our tremendous, tremendous staff. Some of whom are going around to place the trash cans. Okay. I think everything else is done. I feel slightly sorry for the cooks today because, you know, they've had it nice and easy for a while. But there's the students coming in. Of course. Where are you guys going? Oh, you're getting a delivery. So they come through the side for the time being. That's kind of not what I want you guys doing, but sure. While they're, you know, getting accustomed to the school, I do want to go ahead and just put in a bit more fence here, I think. So let me do this kind of thing. Let me bring that all the way up and across there for the time being, just because we don't have a purpose for it. And then we want to do that kind of thing. And this is going to go all the way up. We're going to have some fence going like this as well. And then grass, basically, on all of that. So we can nicely line the outside of the school with some extremely green grass. We apparently have got a rowdy student, which is a great start. Absolutely great start. Another great start is that the workers are so quick. I'm so okay with that. But yeah, every student seems to be where they need to be. We have got Ms. Florence Stoddard going to the principal's office, as well as Jadwiga Boyne. All right. Can I get you to, like, sit aside while being told off? Because I realize we don't actually have any detention rooms. There are no detention rooms at all. And I should probably fix that. I might very well do that. Detention rooms definitely don't seem like they'd be a bad idea at all. But I will say, I'm really pleased with how this looks. I'm really, really pleased with how this looks, except for the fact that we have a bunch of students that are really, really rude. I'm so happy with it. You know, everybody's kind of going about doing their thing, going to the bathrooms, going to the lockers, going to the common areas, all that kind of stuff. I'm really, really pleased with it. I think the only change that needs to be made is that we need a detention room or two. So let's go into build and let's do some final bits of construction before we perhaps wrap things up for the day. So let's go 10. Let's go 11. And done like that. And that's going to be a classroom for detention. We'll go... Oh, interesting that we can't exactly get that to be the right size there. If we go... Maybe it doesn't need to be as big. Maybe it doesn't need to be as big. Hold up. Pause. Let me just cancel all of this. So cancel those. That's currently 11. Let's go 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So if I go 8 across, the 9th one is the middle. So that's 8. That's 8. And that right there is room for 2 detention classrooms. We'll get the doors on there. Just in that spot and that spot. With the floors being red, just to remind you that you're not there for any good purpose. And I think that'll be nice. We can actually go ahead and just bring the corridor over here. Up to that point. And at the end of it, we'll put a door on, which is technically a way to leave the building, because this pathway is going to be brought up and around. I think that'll be a nice way to cap things off. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. Demolish or cancel that. Demolish anything there. And let's bring this pathway around. So we want to go like this. We want to go there. And we want to bring it up to about there. And I think that'll be great. I think that's going to look absolutely fantastic. We might even see some students opting to use this as their entrance to the school, which would be a little bit weird, but, you know, I might as well let them. I also realized I did the fence sort of wrong there. Gonna want to just correct that a little bit. Let's see here. So we kind of want to do that kind of thing. And we always want to just leave enough room for one uninterrupted layer of grass here. So like that, and then the grass. And there we go. We have the detention rooms. And I think they look fine. We have got a couple of students who are causing problems who are going to be sent to the principal. So the question becomes, what happens to those students? They seem to be getting sent back to class, which is fair enough. You are going to class. You know, you go do you, but do they ever go to detention is my question, because these are now technically detention classrooms. So I'm very curious to know if that's a thing they ever happen to do. Doesn't seem like it. They're currently on recess. Do they maybe go into detention during lunch? Or maybe it's an after-school thing? There do seem to be a lot of students that are having problems, though. There's an awful lot of students that are having some kind of issue. And, you know, your motivation's way down there. Apparently you're starving. Interesting. So it's not lunchtime and everyone, yeah, so they do all go to lunch. It seems like most of them are able to get some lunch. We might just need a bigger cafeteria. I don't know if I want to just, you know, sink a bunch more time into the design of this, because I am kind of happy with this, you know? This is kind of the level of just designing stuff that I wanted with this game at some point. And I do still stand by what I said, which is that, you know, eventually you can totally get this. You just got to make enough money. And it does definitely seem like eventually you will totally make enough money. Now let's go ahead and do some orange walls here just to wrap things up, because we can. And because we absolutely have enough workers to do this quite quickly. So a bunch of orange walls just around like this, I think will look really interesting. Right in the middle of the school. Just all the way down there. We'll speed things up and just see how quickly this goes. Apparently not as, yeah, well, actually, you know what? Oh, there they go. There's the builders coming in. So yeah. Pretty quick. Oh, I have 240 transferee students coming tomorrow. I do not want that. I do not want that. No. As much as I'd like the money, no thank you. Okay, well, the good news is that the 240 extra students aren't going to be arriving. The other good news is that I've decided to change up some of the walls over here, just to change this little bit into brick to sort of match the brick outcroppings we have down here. I'm also changing the classroom walls into green because I can, and the walls down here are going to be purple. Again, because, well, I can. And because, you know, I think it might look kind of nice just to have a bit of color around the building. Just so we can change, oh, wow. Just so we can change things up a little bit. That's literally the only reason. Because, you know, I think it looks kind of nice having those different colored walls in there. Except for the fact that apparently no one can get to that middle brick there. Even though somehow they managed to do it over here. Which is a little weird, to be perfectly honest. The fact that they were just able to do it over here, no, whatever. It doesn't particularly matter, because the point of this video, ladies and gentlemen, was to just jump in and see what this game could be like if you somehow make a shed load of cash with, you know, a school in the standard mode, you know, without the infinite money, without the lack of worry, basically. That's kind of what's going on here. Who are you? So one of my cooks is taking a rest in one of the detention classrooms. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Anyway, like I was saying, the point is, you know, this is what it could be like if you make a shed load of cash in your standard mode and decide you want to build something that looks a bit interesting, or I don't know. It's basically just an experiment. It's where I think the game could have went if the save file hadn't corrupted. So this is effectively part 6 of Academia School Simulator, and it is going to be the last episode for a little while. I think I'll let the game update a couple of times, hopefully to the point where save files don't corrupt all that often, because that's kind of, it's a little bit game breaking, just a little bit game breaking, but it happens. The game is early access, so it's totally understandable. But somewhere in the future, we will totally revisit this game. But for the time being, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it. So if you've got this far, if you've stuck with this video, however long it ends up being, because I assume it's a long one, go ahead to the comments and let me know what else you want to see on the channel. Because in a recent video, in a vlog I put out towards the end of last week where I mentioned I was sick, I mentioned that I'm also thinking about a bunch of different games to play, but I also want to know what you want to see as well. So with that in mind, thank you kind of for watching. This has been Academia School Simulator. This isn't the last you've seen of this game. This isn't goodbye forever. It's goodbye for now. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.